All drills and exercises in this videotape are designed to develop fundamental skills. It is extremely important as an athlete or coach that you execute them with proper technique in order to avoid possible injury. To reduce the risk of possible injury, consult your doctor before beginning this exercise or skill development program. The producers, participants, and distributors of this program disclaim any liabilities or loss in connection with the information presented in this tape. This tape is copy protect encoded. Attempts to duplicate will damage this tape and
Hi, I'm Eddie Sinnott. I'm the men's swimming coach at Southern Methodist University in Dallas, Texas. Today's video, we're going to discuss our dryland program. At SMU, our strength and conditioning program consists of 3 phases. One is our weight program, one is our dryland program, and one is our stretching and flexibility program. Today, we're going to focus on our dryland program. And we run our dryland program in 2 phases. The first 4 weeks, we run a 23-station circuit lasting 1 minute of exercise and 20 seconds to change stations. We're going to show you that circuit today, 1 station at a time. After the first 4 weeks, we stop doing our circuit and we do our dry lands on an individual basis so that guys that want to spend a little more time can come a little early and start sooner, and the guys that have tight class schedules can get here and crank it out in a hurry. Before we actually get into the circuit, I want to make a point that's very important. If you're going to do weights and dry lands, it's very important that you supplement them with a good stretching and flexibility program. So before we do weights or before we do our dry lands, we always spend 15 minutes on a stretching program preparing our bodies to do the exercises that we're about to do. Then at the end of training, which would be at the end of our swimming at the end of the evening, we spend 15 to 20 minutes on a very elaborate flexibility program, and we take time to work on stretching those muscles that we've just trained. All right, our dryland program consists of 2 phases. And the first phase is 4 weeks long, and we run a 23-station circuit. We usually start with 30 seconds on and 30 seconds off as our swimmers learn the circuit. And then we build up to where we go 1 minute on and 20 seconds off. So our stations take 30 minutes to accomplish start to finish. We have 2 men to a station, so you're working with a partner. And we basically have broken down the circuit into 5 stations, or 5 types of exercises. There's a set of abdominal exercises that follow in a row. Then there's a set of jump rope exercises that follow in a row. Then we have a set of chords, which follow in a row. Then we have our auxiliary lifts, which you'll see us using the stadium and the walls and doing all kinds of lower body activities. Then we have our upper body stations, which are our VASA trainer, pull-ups, dips, push-ups, our upper body lifts. And those are all broken down and done in a row. Before each training experience, morning and afternoon, we spend 15 minutes on a pre-training stretching routine. We think this is very important to wake the muscles up and prepare them for the exercise that we're going to put them through for the day's training. As I mentioned in the beginning, if you're going to do an extensive weight or dry land program, it's very important to take the time to spend on stretching and flexibility. In our program, before we start practice, our guys get here 15 to 20 minutes early and they do a pre-training stretching program that we're going to show you right now. The object of this is just to stretch our muscles, to generate some circulation so that we're prepared to train before practice starts. The first thing we do is stretch our back out. They'll pull one knee up to their chest, stretching their spine, pushing on the foot that's on the ground. They'll hold that for a count of 5 and then put it down. Then they'll do the other knee. And they're just waking up their spinal cord, getting it prepared for exercise, and they'll put it down. Then they'll do both knees, and they'll pull their knee to their chest, rounding that spine. They'll begin a slow rock and roll motion till finally they're going to rock right up onto their seats. Again, we're trying to wake up our body and prepare it for exercise. The next exercise they'll do is called spinal twist. Notice their position. One foot outside the knee, elbow across the knee. You try to keep your back straight as you twist and look over your shoulder. We'll hold that for a count of 5, and then they'll go the other direction. Very casual, not in a hurry, maintaining good technique, trying to relax and allow their body to stretch. The next exercise is called triangle stretch. They're going to sit straight, pull one foot in close to their body, keeping the other leg straight, and their feet should be pointed straight up. With both hands, they're going to reach for their feet. If they're not flexible enough, they'll be grabbing their calf. If they're not flexible at all, they'll just be grabbing their knee. Everybody's an individual. And they're going to stretch down, exhale, hold for a count of 5, and they'll usually do 2 of these. And then switch legs. Do the other leg. Everybody switch. They're going to reach with both hands. Some can grab their feet. Some have to grab their ankle. Some guys on our team will have to just grab their knees. Slowly exhale. They'll pull down and hold for a count of 5, and then relax. The next stretch is called butterfly stretch. They put the soles of their feet together. They pull their heels in as close to their body as they can, straighten their backs out, and try to press their knees to the floor. As you can see, these 4 guys all have different varying degrees of flexibility. Everything is individual. In position 2, they're going to slide their feet out a little bit, and they're going to pull with their arms and try to touch their forehead to their heels. If you succeed at this, then you pull your feet in a little closer till you create the angle that allows you to get a stretch. All right, very good. The next stretching exercise is called Cobra. They're going to change positions and sit on their ankles. Their toes will be straight out. And they're just going to relax there for a moment, stretching their thighs, feeling their ankles relax. And then they're going to reach out in front, and they're going to do a coiled Cobra first. We call this the coil. They slide their hands out in front as far as they can, stretching their shoulders a little bit, head down. Now they're going to uncoil in the Cobra, sliding down along the ground, and then reaching up, stretching their back, and the last thing they're going to do is look up. Very important that you don't look up until you've got full extension. They're going to hold that for a count of 5, and then they're going to coil. Again, along the ground, and when they coil, they're sitting on their ankles, they're stretching their shoulders, they're relaxing, and then they're going to uncoil one more time. Along the ground, stretching the back, and then looking up. Hold for a count of 5, and then coil again. Usually from this position, we'll just sit on our ankles, sit up, and begin to stretch our shoulders by pulling one arm over behind their back, grabbing their elbow, and pulling their arm across their body, feeling the stretch move down their lat. They'll lean against the side a little bit and relax. Then they'll do their other arm. Very important that when you do this stretch, you try to keep your chin off your chest so that you're staying very straight in the back. We're stretching that lat muscle and leaning across it a little bit and relax. Then they'll stand up and they'll do some upper body swinging. So they'll start with a single arm swing backwards. Nice full range of motion, getting their shoulders swinging, not just their hands and elbows. Then they'll change directions. Usually we do 5 at a time, then they'll switch arms. Again, head still. We're trying to get shoulder rotation in this swing. And we'll do 5 opposite arm swings. We start going in opposite arm swings. One swings one direction, one swings the other. Then we'll usually do 5, stop and go the other way. Then we do a figure 8 where we circle in front and circle in back. It's actually making a figure 8. We usually do 5 of those. Can you go the other way? Backwards, same arm. And we go the other way. Yes. And then we'll do the other arm. Circle in front, circle in back, making a figure 8. Then you go the other way. Yes, very good. And that's it. That is our pre-training stretching routine. From there, we're ready to train. This exercise is called pikes. It's one of our abdominal series exercises. Bryce is going to do 10 and I'm going to talk while he does them. Bryce, are you ready? Begin. We call this a 3-point exercise. 1 to the top, 2 halfway down, 3 to the bottom. So it's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Notice Bryce is touching right in front of his hips here. We don't want to touch in front. We don't want to touch back here. We want both sides of his body coming up and going down. Very good, Bryce. All right, our next abdominal exercise is called med ball sit-ups. It takes a partner. You're going to lock your ankles together, and basically you're going to do sit-ups passing the med ball back and forth. These guys are going to do 5 for us right now, and ready, begin. You pass it at the top, so you're doing a sit-up without the med ball, then you're doing a sit-up with the med ball. As the season progresses, sometimes we start throwing the med ball to each other, which increases the intensity of the exercise. Throw it, fellas. Very good. This next exercise is basically our bread and butter of our abdominal series. It's called karate crunches. We do 10 different positions, and before Steve actually does the crunches, he's going to show you the positions. The most important part of the beginning is that you get your hands as far down your back as possible so that you take your neck out of the exercise. And Steve's going to show you the 10 positions. Position 1 is knees together or parallel, feet on the ground. Position 2 is knees wide, feet together. Position 3, legs parallel. Position 4, knees apart. Position 5, legs straight, up. Position 6, legs spread. Position 7, one knee up, one leg straight, but off the ground. Position 8, the other leg. Position 9, we're going to rotate to one side, and position 10, we're going to rotate to the other side. And what Steve's going to do now for you is a 4-count karate crunch. He's going to do 4 crunches in each one of the 10 positions. We want to make sure in a 4-count, there'll be 40 crunches, and we want them done 1 to 40, changing positions as he moves through the exercise. Steve, are you ready? Yep. And begin. 4 in position 1. Then 4 in position 2 without stopping. 4 in position 3, 4 in position 4, position 5, as straight as you can keep your legs and your flexibility will allow. 6, you spread your legs. 7, one knee up. 8, the other knee up. 9 on one side. And 10 on the other. When we're working the circuit for a minute, we try to get a 10-count karate crunch. When we're out of the circuit, we usually work in 10 counts. So we might do 1 or 2 10-count karate crunches. All right, the next exercise is called heel touches. This is a speed-oriented abdominal exercise. Brandon, are you ready? And begin. Basically, what we're going to do is touch our heels and our hands going very fast, and we usually will do these in sets of 30 when we're off of the circuit. When we're on the circuit, we just do it for the duration. Keep your back off the ground, head's not in the exercise. It's an abdominal exercise. Very good, Brandon. All right, the next exercise is called chop chops. This is one of the favorites of the team, and it's something we do as a team a lot, almost every day. We usually do them for 30 to 45 to a minute at a time. Brandon's going to begin. Are you ready, Brandon? We're going to go about 15 seconds. Ready? Go. A little wider. Good. We're basically balancing on our hips, and we're spreading our legs and crisscrossing over the top. Our arms are straight, and they're also crisscrossing. This is a great abdominal exercise, but it also utilizes a little bit of the shoulders and a little bit of the hips and thighs. This is a side view. I just want you to notice he's balanced on his hips. His back is off the ground. His legs are off the ground. And it's important to maintain a good breathing rhythm through this exercise, especially if you're going to do it for a minute straight. Okay, that's good. Our next exercise are called quick sit-ups, and there's actually 2 sit-ups for every 1 series. You're going to sit up and touch your left knee to your right elbow, go back down, and then sit up and touch your left elbow to your right knee. So it's the count goes 1, 2, 3, 1, and I'm going to count along with Brandon as he does 5 of these. Again, we're really balanced on our hips, and our back and our legs are going to be off the ground all the time. All right, Brandon, ready? Begin. 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 2. 1, 2, 3, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and rest. All right, Brandon's going to show you that from the side also. Again, he's going to do another 5, which is really 10. And ready. And 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 2. 1, 2, 3, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and rest. That is a great abdominal exercise. All right, now we're going to show you our jump roping series. The first one we always do is choice. We let them get used to the jump rope and get warmed up. Rob's going to do a little choice for us. And when they get good at jumping rope, ready, Rob? Begin. They'll get a little creative when they do this, but sometimes they'll use 2 feet, then they'll skip a little bit, 1 foot. They can get into a rhythm. Some of them can get pretty funky in this part of their exercise, and we want that. We want a little creativity. The next exercise is alternating right and left by 10s. So he's going to jump 10 times on his right foot and then 10 times on his left. When we're in the circuit, we'll do this for the duration. When we are out of the circuit, we usually will do 100 of these, doing 10 right, 10 left, 5 rounds. All right, Matt's going to show you our double-footed where you're pushing off both feet at the same time. Ready, Matt? Begin. Again, most swimmers will start off in our program not very good at jumping rope, but they will pick it up very quickly, and we have some guys that can jump some pretty mean rope. Good. We want to keep your hands stationary, get that rope moving around, and you just have to jump high enough to clear the rope. All right, good, Matt. The next exercise is actual double jumps, And Steve's going to work in it with some singles, and then he'll start double jumping where the rope's going to go around twice for every time he jumps. The goal of the team is to be able to get 50 of these in a row or 25 jumps with 50 ropes. Very good. All right, this is our chord series, and Michael's going to show you 10 reps of each of our exercises, and we do 5 in a row. The first one is double arm pull. Michael, ready, go. Want to make sure that you're not using your body, you're using your arms from your shoulder. Keep your head still. I like to see a flat face like Michael has right there. A little bend at the knee to take your back out of the exercise, and really feel yourselves pulling from the shoulder. The next exercise is called biceps, and you stretch the cord so that your hands are behind you. Keep your elbows still, and ready, go, Michael. And all he's doing is a simple bicep curl. Again, if you do this for a minute straight, you will get fatigued. When we break out of the circuit, we usually do them in sets of 20. The next exercise is called triceps. He's going to have a high elbow, getting his elbows close to his ear or close to his head. He's going to freeze the elbow and extend his hands. Ready, go, Michael. Again, his back is taken out of the exercise, slight knee bend. We're extending to full extension and bending back behind the head. Working our triceps for a minute straight. This is very fatiguing. Again, when we're off of the circuit, we're doing sets of 20. The next exercise is called butterflies. Ready, go, Michael. With his arms straight, he's taking his hands over the top of his shoulder. This exercise is done from the shoulders. You can see him extend in front a little bit to get a little extension, and it does, in fact, look like butterfly recovery. Head still, back straight, knees slightly bent. And our fifth exercise is called single arm speed. We go one arm at a time. We go as fast as we can. And again, you must keep your back straight, your head still, your knees slightly bent. And we are looking for speed on this exercise. Ready, Michael? Go. We want to get full extension in front, full push in back. And this, again, is done from the shoulders, and we're looking for speed. Very good. All right, the next exercise we call our jump skills, and there's basically 3 exercises that we do in one station of the circuit. The first one is front jumps. Matt's going to keep his elbows up and try to touch his knees to his elbows as fast as he can. That's good, Matt. The next exercise is called back jumps. He's going to put his hands behind him. He's going to try to touch his heels to his fingertips as fast as he can, jumping high. And the third one is called our swing jumps, and he's going to take 2 swings, and he's going to jump. It's almost a reverse jump because he's going to swing his arms backwards as he jumps. I think this is a very, very specific jumping skill for starts. And we have to do those one at a time, so we like them to get their swings going and then release and jump as high as they can. All right, our next exercise is called wall jumps. The idea of this exercise is to spend as little time as possible on the ground. Matt's going to start on the wall. He's going to drop to the ground and come back to the wall as fast as he can. When we do the circuit, we'll do this in sets of 5 and then sets of 10. When we're out of the circuit, we usually will do them in sets of 10. Matt's going to try to do 5 in a row right here, and they're not easy. This is a learned activity. He's going to spend as little time as possible on the ground. He's going to be on the wall for as long as it takes to get balanced. Okay, our next exercise is called stadiums, and we do 4 stadiums. The first one is touching every step. Rob, ready, go. Again, we're looking for foot speed, lifting our heels, and stepping on every step. The second one will be running, touching every other, so it's going to be a longer stride. Again, trying to get foot speed. Rob, ready, go. Good. We always run up and we control the descent, so we come down and control. The third one is hopping, and again, we're looking for foot speed. We're going to touch every step. And then the fourth one we do is hopping, touching every other. This is going to be a little longer hop, and we're still looking for foot speed. Rob, ready, go. We have some athletes that are able to actually skip 2 steps and go every third. That takes a special athlete. Not everyone will be able to do that. Our next exercise is squat thrust. This is another favorite of the team. There's 4 positions. Will is going to show you the 4 positions first, then he's going to do the exercise. We start standing up very erect. Then we go down into a squat. That's position 1. Then we go lay out 2, back to a squat 3, and then we jump into a streamline 4. When we're on the circuit, we'll do this for the duration. When we come out of the circuit, we do it in sets of 10, sometimes up to 5 sets. Will, let's show them 4 in a row. Ready, begin. It's very important to get a good jump and good streamline at the top. Very good, Will. All right, this station is our VASA training station. Michael Jacobs is going to demonstrate our double arm pulls. Ready, go, Michael. We're trying to be very specific and get a swimming motion, high elbows, finishing all the way through to the back. You can see his hands extend actually above his back. Good head position, good body position, trying to mimic the swimming motion. When we're on the circuit, these will be done for the entire time till you hear the whistle. When we stop doing the circuit, we usually do them in sets of 10, building from 1 set of 10 up to sometimes 5 sets of 10. The chords underneath will vary the resistance. He's got all 3 chords stretching. Next exercise is pull-ups. We do them in 2 positions. This one we call wide grip. Palms are facing away. All right, Jonathan, let's see 4 good ones. Very controlled body. We want to use our shoulders and arms to do this exercise, and we're pulling our chin above the bar. Notice his body's very straight, and he's not using his legs. The second position is called reverse grip, where our palms are facing in and our arms are a little closer together. Jonathan's going to do 4 good ones. Again, no body movement. We're pulling our chin above the bar. This is a more biceps-oriented pull-up. All right, our next exercise is dips. Jonathan's going to show you our dips. When we do our dips, we take our legs out of it. We're going to drop our shoulder till it's parallel with our elbow and then straighten up. Ready? Boom. We don't do what some people would call a full dip and go all the way down. We just go down to shoulder parallel with the elbow. And we do these in sets of 10. All right, our next exercise is just a simple push-up. Will's going to do 5 real good ones for us. We want to make sure we have a nice straight line body. Our hands or our fingers are pointing towards the other end of the pool. Head up, Will, ready, go. Nice and controlled. Again, we like to think 1 down, 2, 3 up. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. It's very important to stay strict in your technique. This next exercise is our bounding drill. We usually do this at the end of the circuit as a team. We just line up and we crank it out and get in line. And we'll do this 2 or 3 times or 2 or 3 times through the line a day. All right, Dwayne, start them up. Again, we want to spend as little time on the block and on the ground as possible till you're through the bounding. And when they leave the last box, we like to work on a streamline. Very important to try to land on the middle of the block, not on the front or the back of the block, because the blocks will fall over. We'd like to take a minute here to show you some of the post-exercise flexibility that we do as a team. We think it's very important to take the time at the end of training to spend on flexibility. If you're going to improve as an athlete in the water, this is going to become an important part of your training. Now that we've completed our training for the day, we're going to spend some time on what we call post-training flexibility. If you want to increase your flexibility, the best time to address it is after you've fatigued your muscles. So after practice every day, we try to give 15 minutes to post-training flexibility, and they're going to do some series of exercises right here that starts with their hamstring stretchability. So fellas, go through your hamstring series. We have made these little homemade devices. You can use a towel. A lot of programs use a rope. But basically, they're going to take about 5 to 10 minutes working on their hamstring flexibility. They're going to do a series of exercises that puts a little stretch on that hamstring. They're going to hold it. They're going to bend their knee and intensify it a little bit, and then they're going to relax. And they're going to go through a series of exercises, 2 or 3 reps, taking their time, trying to improve our flexibility as we've improved our strength in the weight room and in our dry lands. Switch legs. Now that we've stretched the hamstring or the back of the leg, the top of the leg, now we're going to stretch our calves out. They're basically got their foot pointed straight up. They're going to dorsiflex as much as they can. And then they're going to use their arms to pull that foot to stretch that calf out. Some of them, you'll actually see their foot leave the ground. Again, they're going to do each exercise 2 to 3 times. Stay very passive and feel the muscle stretch, be flexible, hold and release. All right, switch legs. Okay, now we've worked the back of the leg. Now we're going to work on flexibility on the front of the leg. Again, you must take your time, you must seek the right position, you've got to know your body, and you've got to feel that flexibility. With the harness around their feet, they're actually pulling backwards and stretching the front of their thigh, their quadriceps muscle. Everyone's flexibility point is a little different, but when you get to know yourself, you'll get to see and feel improvement. Every exercise is repeated 2 or 3 and maybe up to 4 times, holding for a count and being very passive. They'll switch legs and switch sides. Again, it's important to take your time, make sure you get into the right position, and then take your time to do the exercise correctly. When we start the season, we work with partners, but then we try to develop the ability to do these things on your own, because they can be done at your home before you go to bed. They can be done any time of the day, anywhere. The next exercise is really for ankle flexibility. They're going to cross one foot over their body, and basically they're going to use one hand to hold their shin and the other hand to pull their foot, working on plantar flexibility. Kicking power is very much determined by ankle flexibility, and this is one way to improve that, make yourself a better swimmer. switching legs. It's important to get the right position, to understand your body, to know what kind of stress you're putting on it. We're working on flexibility. We're looking for little gains that might result in big gains in the water. All right, this is a little upper body flexibility. You can see them holding the rope. The idea is to pull straight down on the rope with one arm, and it stretches out your lat and upper back. You've got to relax the arm that's being stretched and use the arm that's not. Again, very straight spine, head straight, chin off your chest. Instead of pulling that elbow across your body, you're actually pulling your hand down your back. They'll switch arms. As with all of our flexibility, we're going to repeat the exercise 2 or 3 times, staying very passive, trying to feel our body and be aware of what's being stretched. All right, the next exercise is for the neck, and actually it's also for the traps. And there's 3 exercises. They're going to stretch forward as far as they can and then use their hands to pull their head forward even more, feeling that stretch move down their neck. They'll do this 2 or 3 times. Again, their arms are active, but the rest of their body is trying to relax. First position is forward, the second position is side, so they're trying to press their ear to their shoulder as far as they can take it naturally, and then using their arm to press further. Again, each exercise will be repeated 2 or 3 times. Then they'll do the other side. All right, the last one is our biceps flex. This one takes a partner, thumb down, pinky high. You have to know each other. You have to communicate your flex point, and we're just looking to stretch that biceps for a moment, doing 2 to 3 reps. And then they'll switch arms, and then they'll switch partners. Again, thumb down, pinky up. Now that you've seen all of our dry land exercises, let me kind of describe to you how we would do them through the season. For the first 4 to 6 weeks, we will run a circuit and we'll do all the exercises, building up to a minute on and 20 seconds off. When we get into our hard training, we'll come out of the circuit and we'll basically break all of the exercises we've seen into 2 groups. On Tuesdays, we'll do chords and jump rope. On Thursdays, we'll do our auxiliary lifts and then our plyos or our stadiums. So we won't do the entire circuit at one time. We'll basically break it in half and do an upper and lower body circuit on Tuesday and an upper and lower body circuit on Thursday that together would incorporate all of those exercises. It's very important, and I want to say this again, that if we're going to do the strength work on land, we must take the time to stretch and do the flexibility post-training if we want to improve as an athlete.